Somewhere in Tennessee tonight, on a dark gravel road deep in the woods, your headlights could catch something standing among the trees, a cat the size of a small bear, with fangs longer than your hand, staring right back at you. It sounds impossible. But that animal was real, and it hunted these exact hills. And here's something almost no one in Tennessee knows. This state was once home to rhinos, alligators, even red pandas. We have pulled their bones out of the ground near a little town called Gray. But those aren't the ones you need to worry about. Tennessee's ancient forests, caves, and rivers were ruled by predators, bone crushers, ambush killers, and the largest meat-eater North America ever produced. These are the 11 prehistoric predators that once ruled Tennessee, and we're counting down to the one you would least want to meet in the dark. Every single one of them was real. Every single one hunted right where you live now. Number 11. Borophagus. Long before wolves ever reached North America, this continent had its own pack hunter, and it was built to do one thing: crush bone. Borophagus is often called the bone-crushing dog, a stocky, powerful predator about the size of a coyote, but built like a hyena, with a short, immensely strong jaw and broad teeth that could shatter the leg bones of animals far larger than itself. It roamed the warm, wooded landscape of Tennessee around 5 million years ago, and we know it was here because its remains turn up at the remarkable Gray fossil site in the east of the state. It likely hunted in packs and scavenged what bigger predators left behind, cracking open carcasses to reach the marrow nothing else could get to. Imagine a pack of these moving through the Tennessee undergrowth at dusk, jaws that could snap bone, closing in without a sound. Borophagus ruled the ancient Tennessee woods for millions of years, until the world cooled and changed around it, and the bone-crushing dogs died out long before the first true wolves ever arrived. Number 10. The alligator. Now, Tennessee doesn't have alligators today. The winters are far too cold. But 5 million years ago, it did. Back then, eastern Tennessee was warm and subtropical, dotted with steamy ponds and sinkholes, and lurking in that water was a large alligator, an ambush predator no different in method from the ones in the deep south today. It lay motionless at the surface, just its eyes and nostrils showing, and waited for a tapir, a young rhino, or any animal that came down to drink. Then it lunged. We know it was here because its fossils, too, were pulled from the Gray fossil site, right alongside the rhinos and the red pandas. Proof that Tennessee was once a very different and far more dangerous place to wade into the water. Imagine that pair of reptilian eyes surfacing in a quiet Tennessee pond you would have swum in without a second thought. The alligators vanished from Tennessee as the climate cooled, retreating south to the warmth where their descendants still hunt today. Number 9. The teratorn. Not every Tennessee predator hunted on the ground. Some hunted from the sky, and this one blotted it out. The teratorns were the largest flying birds of the Ice Age, monstrous relatives of vultures with wingspans that could reach 3.5 meters or more, nearly twice the height of a person from tip to tip. They soared over the hills and river valleys of Ice Age Tennessee, riding the thermals, scanning the ground far below. And they weren't only scavengers. Their long, hooked beaks suggest they actively hunted, snatching up smaller animals and swallowing them whole. Picture standing at the edge of a Tennessee field, and a shadow the size of a hang glider sweeping silently across the grass, cast by a bird. For a small animal caught in the open, there was nowhere to hide from something that hunted from above. The teratorns ruled the skies over Tennessee until the great Ice Age extinction stripped the land of the carcasses and prey they depended on, and the giant birds fell silent for good. Number 8. The mosasaur. Here is a fact that stops most Tennesseans cold. Much of West Tennessee was once at the bottom of the ocean. During the age of dinosaurs, a warm sea reached up into the state, and near the town of Adamsville lies Coon Creek, one of the finest marine fossil beds in the entire country, full of the bones of the creatures that swam there. The apex of that sea was the mosasaur, a giant marine reptile, a distant cousin of today's monitor lizards that had grown into a monstrous, paddle-limbed hunter of the open water. Armed with a mouth full of curved teeth and a second row set into the roof of its mouth, it seized fish, sharks, and giant sea turtles and dragged them down. It ruled the water above what is now Tennessee farmland. Picture that reptile surfacing where cotton fields and county highways now stand. The mosasaurs ruled the Tennessee Sea until the same catastrophe that killed the dinosaurs wiped them from the earth 66 million years ago, and the sea itself slowly drained away. Number 7. The giant ground sloth. This one wasn't a hunter, and that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. Forget the slow little sloths of today. Megalonyx, Jefferson's ground sloth, was a shaggy beast the size of an ox, up to 3 meters long, that lumbered through the forests and caves of Ice Age Tennessee. It ate plants, but it came armed. On the ends of its powerful arms were enormous curved claws, longer than kitchen knives, that it used to hook branches and strip them bare. And those same claws made it nearly untouchable. A saber-tooth or a dire wolf that tried to bring one down risked being gutted with a single swipe. Tennessee's countless caves are full of the bones of these animals, which sheltered and even died deep underground. Now imagine hiking a wooded Tennessee trail at dusk and rounding a bend to find 3 meters of shaggy muscle rising up on its hind legs, claws spread, blocking the path. It wasn't looking for a fight, but you would badly lose one. The giant ground sloths vanished from Tennessee around 10,000 years ago, as the Ice Age ended and humans spread across the land. Number 6. Homotherium, the scimitar cat. Everyone knows the saber-tooth, but its stranger cousin may have been the deadlier hunter, and it prowled Tennessee, too. Homotherium had shorter, flatter, serrated fangs, shaped like curved blades, and a body built completely differently from an ambush cat. Long front legs, a sloping back, and the stamina of a marathon runner. This was a cat that hunted in the open and in daylight, over long distances, and almost certainly in packs. In the wooded, hilly country of Tennessee, that meant something terrifying. A group of tireless cats that could pick up your trail and simply follow, hour after hour, wearing you down until you had nothing left. You couldn't ambush-proof your way out of it. You couldn't hide. They would just keep coming. Imagine glancing back along a Tennessee ridge and seeing 3 of them pacing you through the trees, in no hurry at all, because they already know exactly how it ends. Homotherium stalked Tennessee until roughly 10,000 years ago, when the last of the scimitar cats vanished with the great herds they had chased for 1,000,000 years. Number 5. The dire wolf. When you imagine a predator in the Tennessee woods, you probably imagine a wolf. But the real Ice Age wolf of Tennessee was something bigger and far more frightening than any wolf alive today. The dire wolf was heavier, more powerfully built, with a massive skull and jaws that could crack bone, and it hunted the horses, bison, and young mastodons of Tennessee in coordinated packs. Recent DNA revealed a twist. It wasn't even a true wolf, but a separate, ancient lineage that only looked the part. A single one was dangerous. A pack in the dark was a death sentence. Now bring it into the present. Imagine you're at a cabin on the edge of the Tennessee woods, the porch light on, and just past the tree line 12 pairs of eyes catch the light. Spread in a slow arc, drawing closer, cutting off every way back inside. The dire wolf ruled Tennessee for tens of thousands of years until its great prey vanished at the end of the Ice Age, and around 13,000 years ago, it disappeared for good. Number 4. The giant jaguar. Tennessee is riddled with caves, thousands of them, and during the Ice Age, some of those caves belonged to a cat far larger than any that lives here now. The Pleistocene jaguar was up to 20% bigger than the jaguars of today, with the most powerful bite, for its size, of any big cat. A bite built to punch straight through a skull. It denned deep in the Tennessee caves and hunted the surrounding forests, and its remains have been found in cave systems across the region. The jaguar doesn't chase, it ambushes, dropping from a ledge or exploding from cover, and it kills with a single crushing bite to the back of the head. For anything moving past the mouth of a cave or under a low branch in the dark, it was a predator you would never hear coming. Imagine a pair of eyes watching from the black mouth of a Tennessee cave as you walk past, unaware. The giant jaguar haunted Tennessee until the end of the Ice Age drove its kind back to the warm forests of the far south. Number 3. The American lion. Most people have no idea that lions once prowled the eastern United States, and they were bigger than any lion alive today. Panthera atrox, the American lion, was one of the largest cats that has ever lived, up to 25% larger than an African lion, and it ranged across the continent into the woodlands and river valleys of what is now Tennessee. It hunted the biggest game around, bison, horses, young mastodons, as a supreme ambush predator, and at over 250 kilograms, it feared nothing that walked. To a lion that could bring down a mastodon calf, a human was barely worth the effort, but more than easy enough to take. This was not a predator you fought. It was one you prayed never noticed you. Imagine those eyes catching the last light at the edge of a Tennessee clearing, a lion a full quarter bigger than any alive today, crouched low, watching, deciding. The American lion ruled Tennessee until the collapse of the great herds at the end of the Ice Age, vanishing around 11,000 years ago. Number 2. The short-faced bear. Everything else on this list had one thing to fear. And this was it. Arctidus was the largest meat-eating land animal in the entire history of North America, and it denned in the caves of Tennessee. On all fours, it dwarfed a modern black bear. Standing up, it towered well over 3.5 meters tall, high enough to look into the second story of a house. And unlike a lumbering modern bear, it had long, straight legs built for covering ground at speed, and a bite that could crush bone like a dry twig. Many scientists believe it ruled by pure intimidation, muscling every other predator, the lions, the saber-tooths, the dire wolves, right off their kills, because nothing on the continent could stand up to it. In the Tennessee woods, there was no outrunning it, no fighting it, no climbing away from something that tall. Imagine standing at your back door at night, on the edge of the trees, and watching that rise up out of the dark, filling the whole yard. The short-faced bear ruled Tennessee until the end of the Ice Age, vanishing around 11,000 years ago. And number 1, the saber-toothed cat, the most feared predator of the Ice Age, and the one you would least want to meet in the Tennessee woods. Smilodon wasn't built for speed. It was built like a wrestler, with front legs so heavily muscled it could pin a struggling animal flat against the ground. And then came the fangs, a pair of curved sabers up to 18 centimeters long, longer than your whole hand, driven into the throat in a single killing bite. But here is what makes it the nightmare of the forest. It didn't chase. It waited, hidden in the brush, motionless, silent, and exploded outward at the last possible second. In open country, you might at least see a predator coming. In the dense Tennessee woods, you would not. One step down a shaded trail, and a quarter-ton of muscle and teeth would already be on you before your mind understood what was happening. No warning, no chase, just the ambush. Now imagine driving a gravel forest road in Tennessee at night, and your headlights catch it standing among the trees ahead. Sabers gleaming, eyes glowing, already far too close. This is why, deep down, something still tells you not to go into the woods after dark. Smilodon prowled Tennessee until around 10,000 years ago, when the giants it hunted died out, and the ultimate ambush killer followed its prey into extinction. 11 predators, bone crushers, sky hunters, sea monsters, and the ambush killers of the forest. And every one of them once ruled the woods, the caves, and the waters of Tennessee, hunting the exact ground you walk today. They are gone now, buried beneath the hills and the highways and the trees, but their story doesn't have to end as bones in a cave. If you want to step inside their world, to live the final days of the last of its kind, that story is waiting for you right here. I'll see you in it.